Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good weekend. Enjoyed a little Super Bowl action. It is February 14th. We're going to talk about GameStop, a little bit of Russia news, the spy, our options. The timeline may be shifted on GameStop. It's kind of important. We will get into it. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. Hit the bell so you don't frown. We have Twitter at Happy Money YT, as well as a Discord server. Link for that in the description. I put out a post earlier today and a tweet just saying how this cycle maybe is looking a little different, and some of you guys have joined up on Discord. You can see what we're talking about. There was, I guess, some tweets going around. I'm not gonna go too much into it, but a tweet from, who was it even? Ukraine President Zelensky says Ukraine has been informed that Wednesday, February 16th, will be the day of the attack. Source is CNN. And then he had a Facebook post saying that was sarcastic because it's the day of that. The 16th is the day of freedom, and it was a joke. I don't know. So whatever. The market here, though, I think I think a lot of this was from that tweet and a potential day of attack. Whatever. Market uses whatever tools that they want at their disposal to move the market up and down and give people an explanation for it. So there we have it. That said, SPY it's pretty bearish, but it's oversold, and actually now we have this RSI divergence, so expect a rally on the hourly at least. And yeah, MACD still hasn't crossed bearish on the daily, so this could just be a lower high it's building, and some more up for the SPY, I'd say. I don't have options on SPY, but I've been playing Tesla a little bit, kind of as a SPY play instead. Sometimes it makes bigger moves. GameStop, so just TA wise, I mean, yeah, hourly this is bearish. We've got red under the 9, bearish MACD, kind of a double top. You know, on the 4 hour, MACD hasn't crossed yet. Looks like it's this is a red under the 9. We'll see if it closes like that. But on a little longer time frame, this is all above the resistance back here, which is bullish. On the daily, it's still pretty bullish on all fronts. However, with GME, we've been predicting the price action more just from historical price action, not necessarily shorter term momentum indicators. So what we were thinking was before each pinch, there's been well, not this one really. There's been a downward slope for however long, month or 2 months, and then a bottom, and then a retest of the bottom, a little bounce, the trough area I call it. I guess it would be called that naturally. And this has all happened before earnings. Then there's a rally up into earnings, then it's shorted. Here's earnings, shorted after earnings. Yes, here's another trough. And this time it's been a little different. It started out different when we didn't make higher lows. These are all higher lows. And then this would have been our higher low, 185, but it got shorted through that, consolidated and shorted even further. So this downward trend looks much more like this one. Get down here and we're making our trough, and yeah, I was thinking it didn't really come up and then retest like we were expecting. And then I'm thinking, okay, before I was thinking this rally right now could be that up and retest before the rip. And then I was looking closer at it, and I'm wondering, so there's a few different scenarios. I think worst case scenario, GME goes to 0. That's always worst case scenario in the stock market. Outside of that scenario, the next scenario that I'm hoping is not the case, but the next scenario that came to me today when I was looking at it was that we've already this was the first leg. So basically we had our trough. This was the trough. We had our low, had it right, like right here, or even right here. No, right here. So we had our low right here. We came up, had a little rally, and then we retested. Or you could say we retested back here. However you want to put it. Here was our up, and then here's our retest. Maybe more like that. See? And then we had our 3-day rip. Yeah. Right, so back here we have our up, our retest, and then this rip for 3 days. And this was actually after hours and shouldn't even necessarily have been there. But I count this whole rip from here to here as far as low to high. What made me start looking at it is just the percentages. Because when I was looking at it before, looking at the percentage gains from this trough to this peak, I'm like, it's a pretty big swing. So it seems like we're going to break out with this. But then thinking about it, I'm like, wait, that's the whole... that's the whole move. So I started sharing posts in media just to let people know, because I've been pretty set on where we are in the cycle, or thinking I see where we are. And then this morning I'm like, I'm not sure about that. So this was my first thing, and I shared these pictures just kind of showing the time frame I'm seeing. So this is where we are right now, right? And then I looked back at the last pinch. I'm like, what if this is where we are? So this right here is right here. And then this was our rally. It just doesn't seem as big. And then I went to TradingView and looked at percentages. Sure enough, this low to this high, and I did the high on the very highest wick, was 49%. I mean, it's not exact. I didn't actually click on the wicks, but I don't have snap to. I should turn magnet on, but it's basically around 49%. Look at this. From this low, and actually that low I think is lower, so this rally was I think more. We've already had our 51% low to high, just like here, this low to high. That's already been a 50% move. We even have 3 days that were similar. See? Look at even the candlesticks. I didn't really look at the candlesticks. Big day, medium day, even the wicks. Medium day, and then this big wicked, just like this. I don't know. That was the second pinch. Look at this earlier pinch. So we had this one, and now this one, 56%. Similar percentage. We had the trough, the bounce, the retest. This one only really had 2 days. And then the second leg. So all these had a second leg. We had the first one, little drop consolidation, and a second one. This one didn't quite as much, but it had it. First one, little consolidation, and then kind of the second retest or high. I didn't do this one all the way up to the top of that wick, but it's basically a similar range move. And actually the candlesticks on these are... So I'm wondering if this was our trough. That was our first leg, basically. That's not worst case scenario. Worst case is GME go to 0. But that to me would be second worst case, I guess. I mean, of course it could be whatever. Yeah. So that would basically mean GME on the next leg of this isn't going to go, we're not going to see 250, 350, even 150. It's going to retest this high where we're already at 130. I'm not convinced it's going to happen yet, but this chart, the chart, I'm like, this is kind of crazy. So there, of course, are other scenarios. Let me show you. So here's March. This is potential another scenario where we had our first leg got us to, I measured it out, but basically our first leg got us to here. And then our second leg brought us up like another 100% basically from there. Maybe it's a step up like that. And GME is going to do this step and then another step up. And that could be a viable thing that's going to happen, as well as February, because February there's kind of a double step also. Look back in February. So we had the step up, kind of consolidation grind, and then another big move. So maybe we're doing something similar to that or this, and it's not going to be like this one and this one. But so far, it looks like this one more or less. Yeah. And then, so other scenarios, of course, we just follow kind of brain chip, and we just kind of grind back up to that previous support. And then we go and squeeze from there. So something like this, which makes kind of a U in the bottom, kind of this horseshoe thing. Kind of grind back up to this 150 or so. Who knows, maybe end of this week, maybe next week. Then we can consolidate and then rally from there and make all-time highs in a month or two. Another scenario would be... I just don't think that this is enough of them. I don't think they've done enough covering before this earnings for this to be it. But I guess I see that there is a possibility that this was the peak, and then we're gonna do this and then make another peak at 131. Which I didn't like seeing that possibility, but I wanted to share it. Another scenario, of course, is we kind of step up. We step up here, do the brain chip thing, and go up, and then squeeze, or we just it's a totally different pattern we haven't really seen. We're just kind of making stair steps up, which is good also. Bull flags, rally, consolidate, and then waiting on earnings. Possible it's so low, and they brought it so low, and now they're keeping it so low because they're expecting to have to close or cover their position based on good earnings, good forward guidance, announcement of a new NFT marketplace, NFT dividend, whatever would garner enough big money to come in and squeeze the shorts. So any one of those scenarios could happen, I think, and it's always going to be around earnings, in my opinion. That's what it seems like. If we have, when we have this squeeze, I think the biggest catalyst will be news from GameStop. But it also matters on the market, because the market's in kind of a different time right now than it has been on the other pinches. I mean, a lot of the market has pretty much the same chart. So it's not like I think GameStop's manipulated, but I think there's a lot of stocks that are just trotting along for the ride, and this one just has the most eyes on it. I mean, I just constantly am finding these charts that look just like this. That's Overstock. That's SoFi. It's kind of crazy. So anyways, yeah. I think it's too early to say, okay, yeah, this is the first top, and now we're going to consolidate, grind, and then make another, and that'll be the top. It's too early to say that. There's still over a month to earnings, so there's plenty of time for it to rally before earnings. And we have, another pinch set up that goes to 250, 350, wherever. So I'm kind of just keep my options open. I did sell some of my long exposure for the shorter dated stuff. Looking at the TA is not too bad. Looks like SPY is breaking through VWAP now. TA is not too bad. But seeing it like I do now, like this, I'm thinking we might have a few days, if not a week or something, of consolidation. Like here, or even like some of this, or even like here. I know our chart looks a lot different, but this had big 2-day spikes, and this was kind of like consolidation in a big range, and then another 2-day spikes. So I guess how I'm going to be re-entering my long positions, I'm not exactly sure yet when. I want some strong conviction on it. So I was thinking maybe 4 hour before I was doing the daily too. And there's another thing where this pattern is basically showing us something different, because bullish days on the MACD has been different than all the other pinches. That would be another inclination to make me think this was the trough already, and this was the first leg. Because we've had so many of these bullish days on the MACD, we'd be like right here. So, but they started doing new stuff once they shorted it below and brought it below that support, and brought a lot of other stocks down with it. There's a lot of reasons why this will be the squeeze. Also, the utilization's at 100%, XRT short interest, all these FTDs piling up, all the other factors that say, okay, it's very bullish, and it could be. Options, a lot of new long options being opened up for this week, next week. So yeah, that's kind of my outlook. And it's kind of, yeah, I was like, oh man, that sucks, because if that is the case, then yeah, it's like I'll have one more chance to kind of get rid of my exposure and miss out a lot of money. But then also, if that's the case, are they going to be able to short it after earnings just down from here, way down? Which it's good for a discount, but not good if you have too much exposure, basically. So we will see. I'm excited for it either way. What we did, so I closed out of my short position on Tesla, made some money on that, and then I reopened another one. So I made money on this. Tesla actually did bounce some today. Opened up another one, and yeah, here's the GME stuff I closed. Some put credit spreads I closed. Took little losses on most of it. Let's see, I closed my calls. I was down on those a little bit, not too bad. These calls, I mean, I could have left them open. The calls, just long calls, if you lose more to theta, because you don't have any short leg on it. So those are the first ones I kind of want to just close. I sold this overstock call. I opened up space and then I just closed it. I thought they had news, but I don't think it was true. So still have a bearish play here on GME. Oh, I also closed I had a long put, a 120 long put on GME, and the break even on them was low. They both expired. That one as well as this put debit spread expire on Friday, so kind of playing against the clock here. This one's break even's 114, so maybe should close it today. I don't know, but I think GME could come down a little bit more if we are where it looks like we're in the chart. Birds had a little rally today, trying to sell. Oh, so on my theta account, actually, once I saw that chart, I tried to reduce some exposure, stuff that it was up, and I re-engaged the farm animals in the theta account, and they're back to work in the fields. So sold, shorted 138 calls for Friday, 2 of them in this account. It was a $394 premium for that. And I don't know if I'll do it next week or over the weekend. We'll see, because yeah, I'm just a little uncertain, but I need to get back to theta farming if if that's happening. And then on here, I have 100 on here that I'm theta farming too. It's the same strike, 138. I don't know what I sold it for. Oh, 155. Excuse me, yeah, 155. So make a little premium back on those. GME can rip at any time, for sure. So I don't want to get rid of all my exposure. I made that mistake before. Even if I think I know the charts, what's going on, something like this happens after hours, or this, and I had the TA perfect, and then this was the one. The RSI divergence 3 days in a row is perfect, and then is that it? No, it was this one and that one, both of them. Yeah, this was the RSI divergence, and then there was news. I don't know if it was Bed Bath & Beyond, something on that one. Anyways, yeah, kind of just practicing some risk management on both ends. So I reduced some, still have quite a bit, mostly in, I guess, put credit spreads. Let's look at those really quick, actually. So 4 days from now, this one I'll probably have to roll. I almost closed it, but I'm almost all the way down on it. I'm like, I'll roll it and try and roll it down a strike. This one is yeah, I need maxing on this. I need 160 by Friday. I'll try and roll that down. We'll see what kind of time I can get, or might have to widen the spread. I've got quite a bit of buying power now, so I can widen spreads. I think that will probably work. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be trying to roll it down and out, and maybe a month of time, just to try and get myself covered. So that one I'll have to probably roll on Friday. Call debit spreads, I don't really roll. I just sell them. So that's this one. 160, I think, is max profit on this one. This one I have till next Friday, though, and we honestly could see a big move this week or next week. And so I think any of these could honestly still work out. Here's the one for the end of February, I think. No, beginning of March. March 11th. Is that the first? Yeah, first weekend in March, I think. This one's for a 200 strike price, and then for max gain, and this one's end of March. And this is for a 220 strike price, max gain, 33K on that. And then of course the shares, and the shares in the long term, and that kind of building up a little bit of cash though here. Here's my short Tesla play. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Trying to stay balanced with my TA. I don't want to just think, oh, we're in this perfect little spot. I don't think that this is the peak of the trough anymore. I don't think that we're here necessarily. I could be wrong. We could be at this kind of peak of the trough right now. That's where this is. But just for how stretched out this is, how many days we have bullish MACD, how much closer we're getting to the earnings, for this to really play out and us retest, that'll take days and days and days. So hard to say. If this is the peak of the trough, I am pumped, because this move up will be huge. If this is the actual first leg of the run, like here, then hopeful that we'll break it and do something like we did back here or here. See you on Discord, guys. Have a good afternoon. Peace out.